Hey, I'm going to give you a breakdown of how loan programs work within the manufactured home space here. A lot of you reach out and have questions on, how do I qualify with a certain credit score? How much money do I need as far as down payment goes? Do I have to have land? Let's break it down real quick and I'll just make it as simple as possible. So, probably the most common loan program that we run here at this store, Spartan Homes, is going to be the Chattel program. So what that is essentially is it's a home only type loan where there's no land equity tied into the ordeal. And we do that one mainly because folks come in and they're putting a home on family land. And so if that's the case, the land may be, your grandfather's land, could be mom and dad's land. And if they don't plan to allow ownership of that property in your name, then you can't use land equity. So therefore, you're going to have to come up with a down payment. And how does the down payment, how is it determined? Well, lenders are going to have different credit tiers they look at. And we would love to see everybody at a 5% down. Unfortunately, that's not the case because when we start pulling, scores below, let's call it 570 and down as low as it gets, they're going to start asking for 15, 20, and occasionally we see 30% down. So let's just say, easy math on $100,000, 20 to 30 grand at a 20% to 30% down payment. Unless you got that sitting in a retirement account or you've got it in savings, you can't get in because you don't have the equity. And so if you own land, that's a totally different scenario that will help you out. But anyway, having the chattel program, that kind of loan is a 25-year term. It can close really, really fast, like within 7 days to, occasionally 2 weeks, just depends on the customer situation. But all you got to do to close that loan is provide driver's license, social, 30 days worth of pay stubs. So that's 2 if you're biweekly, 4 if you're weekly pay. Your past 2 years of W-2s only. If you're self-employed, you got to get your full tax returns and you got to have 2 years of that, just so you know. And then a property deed. Whoever owns that land is going to sign a landlord waiver for you. And then the bank, generally, depending on which lender we're with, will go and get a verification of employment for you. Once those items are done and I wrap up what's on my end, that loan's done. And like I said, we want to see as many folks get the lowest down payment. So as you start to get around a 600 on your credit bureau, we can tend to see as little as 5% down. Certain situations, if folks are a lot higher, let's say 680 and up, we can get a 3% down with a choice lender of ours. And just very rare occasions can we see a 0% out of pocket on a chattel. Those are safe for, you unicorn customers out there who have long credit history, no missed payments, 750 and up, great situation, low debt to income. You can get a 0 down. It's just we don't see it very often. So that covers chattel right there. Or for you, we want to see 5% down for most of you. On occasion, we can get that 3% down. But anyway, the next one is going to be land in lieu. So what that would be is you come in and see us here, and you've got 2 acres in Meridian here. You maybe have 5 acres somewhere in Scott County, and you can turn around no matter what your credit is. It can be low end, medium, high end, and you can use your land equity, which is going to save you money on cash down. You do not have to put cash down. Yes, you got to pay an appraisal fee. We usually require about $1,000 in-house to cover that. But the loan itself is a no money down. Bank eventually goes out, does a property appraisal, an attorney does a title search. So call it adding about 2.5 to 3 weeks to your loan process. And then after that, you come in and close, and your interest rate still is going to be based off your credit score. And we can run a land in lieu a couple different ways. We can run it, just standard with a conventional loan. And then the other route is a government loan. So like an FHA loan, a VA loan. Generally on any land program out there, doesn't matter if it's land in lieu or the government side, you should get a 30-year term. There are exceptions where a bank on a credit score will lower down to 25. I've seen them as low as a 20. But hey, you're still getting the no money down, just a little bit shorter term. So that's going to raise your payment up just a hair because of the time has been condensed. So, and the last one here for you guys, if you want to know how this works, you can technically do a land and home purchase with either one of those programs again. So the conventional side or the government side. And you will have to put some money forth. Once again, it'll depend on which route you go. Around 5% most of the time. So if you're buying, $150,000 worth of property and home and all your improvements in there, it's about $7,500 to $8,000 down. $200,000, you mean you're pushing $10,000 at that point. FHA, you're going to be about 3.5% down to secure a land home purchase. All of those items I listed earlier, like, ID, social, W-2s, check stubs, tax returns, all that stuff, all apply to every one of these loans here. The difference on a land home purchase is a land contract is in place because you do not have ownership of that property. And so that is the difference versus having to get a deed of land that's already, in a family member's name or land that you own. But yes, all three are fantastic. We run more Chattel any day of the week because that people come in and it's the quickest approach to get a home here. Like I said, 7 to 14 days. Land in lieu, call it 30 to 60 days roughly. But like I said, a lot of this depends on how quickly you get us items in for the lender to qualify and close the loan out, and then appraisal title. Land home purchases are going to go like a land in lieu. But I do find most of you that come in that don't have land, you're not real motivated to get out and look for land. I guess you think that we just have land that we spit out of a magazine and say, hey, here's this listing. I wish it worked like that. Trust me, I really, really do. But at the end of the day, I'm in the home business. I'm not in the land business. A local realtor is the best way to go about that. So start Googling, hey, who's a top realtor in my county or in my area? And guys, I promise you, they'll help you. Get out there and find what you're looking for. It is tough. I will tell you, it's very tough today to find land that is budget friendly, first of all, and that doesn't have restrictions on it as far as the zoning could be changed. And so, hey, got good land over here. You may only can build a residential style house there, or it may be commercial or something. And you're also going to have counties that have minimum acreage too. So Rankin County, where I live, has a 2-acre minimum. And there's some exceptions in there at times, but most of the time you got to be 2 and beyond. And heck, I heard the other day there was 2 acres in Rankin County going for $79,000. So not sure I'd be wanting to spend that either. So I hope this is a good guide for you to understand. We got Chattel, land in lieu, and land home purchase. Those are your three right there that make up the bread and butter of what we do here at Spartan Homes. So let me know if I can help with you and help you figure out which one is the best path for you. And it all comes down to the individual, guys. We can't do a one size fits all. It's going to come down to budget, payment, credit, time frame, and your specific needs. So anyway, reach out to me if I can help you understand and establish which one is a better fit. And if you want to come by the store here, love to see you. Spartan Homes Meridian. Location is 2605 14th Street South, 39301. Zip code there. And my name is Nick Manton. You can reach me any time of day, 601-618-5009. I appreciate you so much. God bless, guys. And I look forward to hearing from some of you very soon.